Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
What's up, Kaylen?
Hey,
what's up?
How you doing? Good to meet you.
That's Chris.
Glad you came out.
Good. So you ready for the podcast? Good. So we're gonna head upstairs, see what you're working with.
Outside the lines.
Outside the lines, baby.
Ain't this what they've been waiting for? You ready?
Welcome
I used to
to the Outside the Line.
So I had to grind like that, shine like this. In a matter of time I spent on some locked up.
We'll just stand up for a minute. Let you vibe a little bit.
I like that.
You like that? That's what's up. So what you think about the podcast room?
I like it.
Yeah. That's good.
That's actually the picture that I'm using when I go down there Friday.
Yeah, that's a nice picture. We're gonna get you to sign that picture in a second.
Sign it?
In a second, yeah.
Oh, I see Warhawks on the picture, but you're wearing a Houston County jacket.
What's up with that?
I played here for 3 years and I transferred my senior year.
Oh wow, we're gonna get into that. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's time to take that thing off, man. We're getting tired of looking at that. Let's go ahead and take that Hoko off, man, because we're done with Hoko, right? I don't know. Are you done with Hoko?
Yeah, I'm done with
You
Hoko.
sure? What you got on there? Is that better? Mm-hmm. Okay, that's what's up. Let me see this. Oh, this is.
Outside the Line.
All right. Welcome to Outside the Line podcast. My name is Lee Hughes. I'm a strength and conditioning coach, and today we have a special guest with us, Miss Kaylen Williams, and I also have my co-host, Mr. Christopher Hunter.
How y'all doing?
How we doing over there, Chris? Say New York, the Big Apple.
Not the one that you see on TV.
Not the one you see on TV. So, Kaylen, you're here on Outside the Line podcast. We've heard you've done some amazing things. We've heard that you transitioned from one high school to a different high school. Could you tell us your name and what you've been doing lately? Give us some kind of insight on what's been going on with you.
My name's Kaylen, and I play softball. But lately I haven't really been doing a lot because I've been trying to figure out where I'm going to go to school at and if I'm going to actually continue to play softball in college. Mm-hmm. So I've been taking some time off, but I'll be playing travel ball next weekend.
So where's that? What's your travel ball? Where are you playing that at?
We'll be playing in Covington, Georgia next weekend.
Okay. So we have this nice blanket on here from North Carolina A&T, right? Mm-hmm. Or when is this happening for you? Are you going there soon or?
I'll be there on Friday and Saturday.
Friday and Saturday. Wow. So are you from Warner Robins area? Mm-hmm. Were you born and raised? Wow, I didn't know that. She was born and raised here, Chris.
Yeah.
Born and raised.
Wanna ride.
And so right now you're going to veteran high school, right? And so from what I've told the guys is that you was at Houston County for 3 years. 9th, 10th, and 11th grade.
I got a question
Go
about
ahead.
that. Like, is that so? You probably heard about the Deion Sanders, the transfer portal. Is it similar to that, like that in high school? How does that work?
This year it kind of looks like it because a lot of sports have a lot of transfers. But for me, I transferred because I felt like veterans I felt like over the summer they would have given me a better opportunity to play softball. But I did get the opportunity to play more at veterans, but most of like my spotlight from like colleges and like other stuff didn't really come from veterans. It came from me like posting on Twitter and coming to you and going to lessons and all that. So it really had nothing to do with high school. It just I got more playing time.
Well, you need those reps. You need those reps. So how is your pitching now?
My pitching is way better because I got more like game time at veterans, so I was able to like spot up and stuff. And I started going to a new pitching coach, and she actually took more time to like work with me and work on like specifics that I needed help with. Sure. So I'm actually throwing more consistent now, and I'm throwing harder. I'm hitting 60 now.
Oh, you're hitting 60 now. So what is your favorite pitch?
Probably my changeup or my curveball.
So you slow that down? How slow is that changeup? Like a 50 or
It's
what?
probably 48.
48, man, you breaking necks out there.
I'm you know, I got a little bit of knowledge about, you know, the game, but so when they're calling a game and you're talking about you like your changeup, you like your curveball, is that a every now and then? Is that you've scouted the player, or how does that work? Like you just feel it?
Like when I got the veterans, and we still stayed in 6A, so I was playing majority of the same schools that I played at when I was with Hoko. So any school, I really didn't know who they had to play, so I had to go with my best pitch. So usually when I'm going up against a batter, I'll start off ahead with a fastball. And if I get ahead with a fastball, I'll probably go changeup. Or depending on the batter, if it's a left-handed, I'll probably go curveball to move the ball outside.
Wow.
But it just kind of depends on what I'm feeling that day. Usually my coach is like, what you feeling? I'll be like, curve or changeup.
So basically what you're telling me, you're making the decisions out there. You're deciding what to throw. It's not your catcher. So a lot of times I'm seeing the catchers, they're making decisions out there, or the coaches. So the coach is actually allowing you to make those decisions?
No, they call pitches, but if I don't want to, I can shake them off.
Oh, so you're shaking a lot of pitches.
Is left-handed pitching in softball is that the stigma like it is in other sports?
It's
left-handed?
not common.
Oh yeah.
So like, cause I've had catchers like I'll be pitching and I'll be throwing pitches and I'm like, why they send up outside if I'm throwing inside? And they'll forget like, oh, I forgot you're left-handed. So I have to do that. Cause really like at veterans we had three right. I was only left-handed. We had 3 right-handed pitchers, so it's kind of hard for our one catcher to maybe adjust if it was like mid-game or something.
Exactly. So we really want to get into the dirty a little bit. You know, you was at Houston County for 3 years, and I don't know if you had the opportunity that you desired, but you decided to go to veterans. Could you kind of run us through what happened starting 9th, 10th, 11th grade, and then the decision to actually go to veterans?
So 9th grade, I came in and I tried out for softball. I made the team. I made JV as a freshman. So I played JV, I pitched JV, and I did pretty good. I mean, I was a freshman. So then my sophomore year, I was still expecting to play JV, and I did. I pitched a lot. I think I pitched every game my sophomore year JV.
Okay.
I think every game. And so I was like, okay, I'm junior now. And then we had 2 pitchers that graduated. So I was like, okay, maybe next year I'll get my time on varsity to pitch. So my junior year, I was like, okay, I expected to be on varsity because I put in so much work.
Right. And
I've been there for 2 years. I kind of knew the program. We had underclassmen come up that automatically got put on varsity, and then I was still on JV as a junior. So I was like,
wait a minute.
Yeah.
Something's not right.
What were your results like during these preliminary years, like the freshman and sophomore? Like, what kind of results were you getting?
My freshman year was kind of rocky because I had just started like being consistent with pitching lessons. But sophomore year was when I started being more consistent and I added more pitches. And junior year was like my shutout year, so I was like, maybe I should be getting more.
So you were nice.
Yeah, my junior year. So that maybe I should be getting more time to play varsity. I even asked the coach, I was like, can I play this game? Like, it was a game that really didn't matter. I didn't get to play. They always put in like who they want to put in. So at the end of junior season, I was like, I was at the point where I was like, I didn't really want to play softball anymore because I was like, at this point, I might as well focus on my grades and figure out what I'm majoring in college. But my mom was like, do you want to transfer? And I was like, I don't know. I even came to Lee. I was like, should I transfer? And it was kind of like up in the air. And then I talked to my pitching coach and stuff. And I was like, okay, I think I'm going to do it my senior year. So then I got to veterans. I was like, okay, I got more pitching time or whatever. Right. But it wasn't the pitching time that I desired because I felt like I was better than people that was out there, but they were there longer than me. They'd been at the school for 3 years, so they owned that right to play.
Sure.
But I mean, I feel like still with me playing college and people like looking at me and all like the offers that I have didn't really come from the high school career. It came
It's kind
from
of typical.
yeah, it came from me just really putting myself out there.
Because we've heard that they can't really even approach you at high school
games.
until
Because
certain.
we went to state with veterans and I didn't pitch at all.
Mm-hmm.
And coaches were there and they knew because they saw you post on Twitter, but they couldn't say anything to you. So it was kind of.
That's interesting. So this is an old man kind of get off my lawn type question, you know, like our back in the day. So Lee and I growing up, you know, if you wasn't starting, it wasn't even a question of whether the coach was making the right decision. It was something you wasn't doing.
Mm-hmm.
Is that this is not you know, this isn't intended to put you on the spot too much, but like, did you hear any chatter about like after the fact, after you made the decision, you hear any chatter from like your old teammates or, you know, just?
Yeah, well, when I did transfer, I did think like, oh, I'm gonna lose friends because veterans and Hoko are rivals. So I was like, I'm gonna lose friends, and then like I liked the girls that I played with. It just wasn't Hoko, just wasn't where I was supposed to be. But when I left, it was like a whole bunch of like, she left because of this,
Bunch of chatter.
Yeah. So it was a lot going on, and then when we ended up playing them,
Right.
it was even worse. Like I didn't even want to play, and then I had to go up to bat, and I was up to bat. I think my mom saw the video,
Right.
and they knew me, like they knew what I could hit and what I couldn't hit, but like I felt it could have been just me. People said it was just me.
I don't know. That's kind of a tough situation.
I felt like she was trying to hit me with the pitch.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I did not swing that whole at bat. My mom probably saw the video, but I did not swing that at bat, and I had a problem with that. So after the game, I addressed it.
Right.
But like you could tell, like it was like tension because of me and another. It was another transfer too of us being on veterans and leaving Hoko.
Wow.
Because I think it was because of the rival.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
So I want to tell a quick story real quick. So Kaylen came into training, and you know, she was basically saying, you know, she was working out, but at the same time, I could tell something was going on. And I was like, "What's up?" She was like, "Oh, I'm trying to decide whether I'm going to leave Hoko or not." She really had that little shaky in her voice. She had a little rattle there, and I was like, "What's going on?" She said, "I don't know what I want to do." And honestly, she put me on the spot, Chris. She made me go into the daddy mode at that point, you know, because, you know, training her, you know, seeing the innocence in her, seeing how great she is, knowing that she works real hard, and for her to come to me and say, you know, what should I do? You know, it touched a different side of me.
Yeah.
So instantly, there was no TNG. You know, that was like, what would that do?
Yeah.
Now, so I had to snap out of it because, you know, you're not getting any money from me. But at the same time, you know, we had to just switch it up because sometime in training you have to be personal. You have to address the athlete one-on-one, you know, their specifics. And that day she didn't need squats. She didn't need rows. She didn't need lunges or plyometrics or speed training. She needed some comfort, you know, and this is probably one of the reasons why she's here now.
Yeah.
Why she's on Outside the Line podcast, and why she has this nice picture in front of her that we're gonna need you to sign for us, right? Right. So we was talking about this nice little picture here. Make sure everyone sees it here. It's a picture of Kaylen. She's actually. Do you have a nickname?
K Dubb.
K Dubb.
K Dubb.
K Dubb. Okay, I like K Dubb.
Yeah.
So we'll actually get K Dubb. Sound better in picture here. Old lefty.
And I got a follow-up question on some of the transfer thing too. We can hit real quick before we move on. So we were talking about you was telling us about some of the animosity when y'all were on the same field as your ex-team. Did you meet any animosity going to veterans?
No. When I got there, like my first practice/tryout, I didn't really say anything to anybody because I didn't know anybody. But they came to me and they were like, "Why'd you leave that Hoko?" Because they had already had another Hoko transfer there. She transferred in the middle of the year. And then they came to me and was like, "Why'd you leave Hoko?" So when they found out like why we left, like we had, like the whole team had animosity towards Hoko after that. So it was kind of like a mutual thing. So like when Hoko came at us, like the whole team came at them.
Wow. That's what's up. So those are your teammates. So how do you feel about your teammates? I mean, it sounded like they had your back.
When I got to veterans, like I didn't really know them like that, but going like I stayed with them like 2 weeks. Like we were telling each other everything, like in the outfield, because I spent the majority of the time when I got there in the outfield before we did pitching. Like we were telling each other everything. Then we had a team sleepover, and that was like when everybody came together, and you could tell like this season was gonna be like this season. But when the season started, it kind of got a little
rocky. It's a new team.
Yeah.
You expect it to be a little rocky.
And we had a lot of young people on the team.
What about the coaching there?
I like the coaching staff.
The coaching staff. You was gonna say something, Chris?
Well, I was gonna ask, did you have any because of the so junior going to pitch at a different school, expecting to be in one of the top pitchers? Did that add any pressure? Like, tell us about how you felt your first time stepping on the mound.
Well, before I got to veterans, I came to one of Lee's group. It was a team. I think it was AP. And one of the girls on there, she was actually the starting pitcher for veterans. So like we talked and stuff before, and she was like, they needed pitching. She was the only pitcher. So when I got there, I met the pitching coach and stuff. And then me and her would pitch side by side each other all the time in the bullpen. And it felt like comfortable. Like,
felt good.
That's good.
That's good stuff. So tell us about your academics. Tell us about, veteran versus Houston County. Did everything excel? Did it fall off for you, or how did things go with for your grades there?
Well, with Hoko, for 3 years I was a straight A student.
Mm-hmm.
I was a 3-year honor student at Hoko, but when I got to veterans, like I wouldn't say it was harder. I just didn't have the relationship that I had with my teachers at Hoko at veterans. So like math is my strongest subject, but this year, my first semester, I feel kind of short in math. But it's just because I didn't my math teacher at Hoko, she taught me for 2 years.
Oh, wow.
So I had her my freshman year, then I had another teacher, then I had her my junior year. So it was like, okay, like me and her knew each other, like I could go to her. But this year, I didn't know the teacher. I mean, she was one of my coaches, but it just wasn't like.
Exactly.
So I felt like I had a C. I've never had anything below probably like an 85
Right.
in high school. And my mom was like, what's going on? Like she thought it was me, like just not being focused and being out every weekend, but it wasn't. It was just like I just didn't know how to go talk to my teacher. But now everything's going.
Everything is up. Everything's on the up and up.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, I could imagine, just kind of getting out of that routine, and comfort zone probably was a little disruptive.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're back on the up and up, that's good.
So what are your plans for A&T? I mean, if you decide to go there, I know you're visiting, in a few days. What are your plans? I know you want to play some softball, but softball may not work out for you, right?
Yeah, if
So what are your
softball
thoughts?
doesn't work out, I'm still gonna major in kinesiology. And right now, if I don't commit to North Carolina A&T, I'm gonna go to Alabama and still major in kinesiology for exercise science, and then try to go to physical therapy school somewhere. Have to look that up.
So you can she should be an MD, sound like.
So this is kind of a naive question. We've heard 3 people in this podcast
Right.
mention kinesiology.
Kinesiology.
Is that something that is promoted, or is it how do y'all like?
I don't know.
I've never heard of it.
I know a lot of people it's actually really weird because I've always wanted to be a physical therapist. It was either physical therapy or teaching, but teaching
Right.
does not make a lot of money. So when I heard people at school are like exercise science or
Right.
I never heard anybody say like kinesiology until I actually did some research and I was
Right.
like, I want to do that. But I've never heard people actually talk about it. But now it's like more common. I don't know why.
I mean, at your age, it's kind of, it's not uncommon to not have heard kinesiology. But at Chris' age,
yeah, you didn't go to the therapist. You went home and your mama gave you some put some salve on it or something.
I think it's an excellent field. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of people's coming in for sports management, physical therapy, kinesiology. We heard somebody for anesthesiology or anesthesiologist or a nurse anesthetist.
Yeah.
So, historically, a black college, right? One of the largest HBCUs around, North Carolina, right? You're leaving Warner Robins, the country, going to the city. That's a change. What are your thoughts about just leaving home and going to North Carolina?
I'm actually kind of excited because I've always wanted to be like, I want to go away.
Mhm.
I've always been in Warner Robins. I've never lived anywhere else but Warner Robins.
Right.
So I'm actually kind of excited if I do decide to go there. And then I kind of like being in the city. Like I love going to Atlanta and stuff.
Mhm.
So, and it's in Greensboro, so it's the city.
It's pretty, it's pretty nice. I heard it was pretty nice. Have you heard anything, Chris?
Yeah, I like that whole area.
Mm.
There's a lot of little.
Is that on the coast or is it like center or what?
Yeah, it's more southeast,
Southeast.
central southeast.
Okay.
But it's not far from Charlotte.
Right.
It's, you got all of those little suburb areas
Sure.
around it. A lot of hipster folks. I was gonna say the Reverend Jesse Jackson
Reverend Jesse Jackson.
and Taraji P. Henson,
Taraji P. Henson.
both alums of the North Carolina A&T.
They've done some big things. And so that's good company.
Yeah.
That's actually good company. And so being far away from your family, how do you feel the adjustment will be not being next to your sister, not being next to your mom? Tell us about that.
Well, from going on other visits, I think they know, they're not going to be able to see me as much because, off season, workout. Then
Sure.
when season starts, you're playing, every day, basically, or traveling. So I think it'll be easy. My sister, when she went off, we talked to each other every day. So I think it'll be easy. And then, with my mom, she'll be okay. Yeah, it'll be okay.
Don't take that lightly, cause
Don't take it lightly, yeah.
Postpartum is real with I would say specifically if you're close with daughters,
Right.
there's that mother-daughter
Yeah.
bond,
It'll really change. I mean,
Yeah.
after the first semester or maybe 6 months, things will change.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be happy to leave, but then all of a sudden, where are my friends? Now it's time to make new friends and bond with my teacher that I don't know. Right? It'll be a little different. It'll be a little different for you. We talked about leaving the family, and so let's tell us about your sister a little bit more. Tell us about your mom, your family, your grandmother. Tell us about your family as a whole. Are you pretty close knit?
My sister went to Oglethorpe her first year in college, but she didn't like it. I knew she wasn't going to like it when I went there. So then she transferred to Mercer, so she's at home. But she lived on campus at Mercer her sophomore and junior. Yeah, her sophomore and junior.
Did she play any sports?
No, she
Okay.
didn't. And she's still home now, but she's about to graduate when I graduate.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think she's going to go to med school.
Oh, wow.
And then, so I don't know if she's actually gonna go off or what. I don't know what she has planned. But she's been looking at everywhere I've been looking at.
Really?
When I was at Claflin, she was like, I might go, if you go here, I'll go here.
Really?
And I was we were gonna go to North Carolina, but I think she's really excited to go down there too on Friday.
And so your parents, it was a little, I know they're excited for you, right? I know that, I know your mom, we actually work together. Not actually together, but in the same area. She's always pulling for you.
Yeah, she's really pushing for me to play softball in college. I was at the point, we got into arguments because I was like, I don't know if I'm going to play softball in college. Like, I just need to go get my education. And she literally sent me text messages that night and be like, you need to do this, and then I'm like, what if I don't want to? And then you got my dad like, I don't know if I want to play softball in college. He's like, well, you need to think about after softball anyways, because I'm not going to play, if I play softball in college, I'm not going to play after college.
Right.
So I need to like think ahead, but my mom's like in the moment, because I have been playing since I was 6.
Right.
So I guess that's like
It's a long time.
almost 12 years now. So,
Wow.
she really wants.
She has a relationship with
The
that
sport.
whole with that whole
And
thing.
they
I
go
can
to
relate to
tournament
that.
and stuff.
You know?
Yeah, she's. It's important for them.
Yeah.
Also, you know, to see their daughter really do well. You know, parents have a big chore. You know, a lot of times the kids don't really see that until 3 or 4 years, maybe even late into their 20s, and then they recognize that how important the parents were, especially mom, dad. I'm sure the grandparents are there also. So what do you do for fun? Do you have any fun?
I do. I usually taking softball out. Like I try to get away from it because I feel like if I'm doing it every day, I'm gonna get sick of it. So I usually go out with some friends, and we'll usually sometimes we'll just stay at home or like go find stuff to do.
Go find stuff to do. I don't know what that means, Chris. What do you think?
I mean, so I have a daughter, and seeing those type of looks, kind of like,
that's a little easier.
I'm gonna stay away from this one, like.
But it was usually in reason. Like my mom just gave me good.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. As long as you get permission.
Yeah.
So you driving now? Oh my God. So with that.
I like driving actually. I
Are
don't.
you pretty good?
I'm not good at parking though, but like I like backing in. Like I'm good at backing in.
So you can't go forward, but you can back it up. Wow.
I don't know why, but like if it comes like when I get to school every morning.
You want to back
Yes,
it
I
in
back in.
instead of going straight.
Yeah, I can't go straight in because then if I go straight in, I have to back out, and all those people be coming. They don't like to stop.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So tell us about how do you stay focused on you want to play softball and you seem like a fun person. How do you stay focused and keep the softball in the front, but then just live a regular life?
Well, my mom always tells me, watch everything you say, watch everything you do, because college coaches literally know everything. I don't know how, but they know everything. So with softball, when I go places, I usually just think like, would I be able to do this if I was at such and such? Like you say, wherever you are, be there.
Exactly.
So would I be able to do this if I was at North Carolina A&T, or if I was at Clefton, or if I was at FAMU? So I just make sure I'm mindful, like, because I have friends that don't play sports, so they may not understand, like, oh, she can't do that, or blah, blah, but I know.
Chris, we had ran to a couple of athletes that really spent a lot of time playing softball and playing baseball and really didn't have time for friends and things like that. You can't really go and do, especially on the weekend because you're playing, over the weekend you may play 5-6 games over the weekend, maybe even more.
Sometimes it's 2 days.
Just playing. So it's kind of, coming from baseball, you play two a day, maybe 3 if you're in the championship round. But to hear these girls pitching 5 games, is it more than that?
Well,
over the weekend?
My last tournament, I was the only pitcher there. Like the last time I played recently, and I pitched every game, including the championship game.
Wow.
I think it was like 6.
That says a lot about that rotator cuff.
Yeah. Like that's pretty. I was gonna. So that's. I know we're jumping back.
Yeah.
But it's still really intriguing to me. In high school, the junior transferring for a senior year at a rival school in town.
Yeah, I'm glad you touched back on this.
Well, and I had a question.
Mm-hmm.
So, with the House and County team, was it they just were right? Was there, if it's not broke, don't fix it? Is the reason why they just kept putting the same pictures ahead of you, or is it, you know? Because I know if you can throw that many games, you know, why
It's a travel
change
ball
it?
team.
Yeah.
I think it was the name of, like, I guess this person's name.
Certain players or
Yeah.
Okay.
Got more like, I don't know how you can say it. Like.
yeah.
Well, I'm proud of you for betting on yourself. You and your mom and
And I even had
whoever.
I talked with the coach because like when I left Hoko, I didn't want it to be like, oh, she's just leaving like because like just whatever they want to get. Like I talked with the coach and I made sure she knew like why I was leaving, and she was like, if you work hard, like you probably can play. Like I know I wanted to play. It was my last year.
Exactly.
So I didn't want to like be like maybe because that maybe would have been me sitting on the bench again.
Right.
And at Veterans, I did not sit on the bench at all.
Wow.
I probably sat on the bench maybe one inning.
1 inning
I said probably
versus
versus
how many?
every game.
Versus how? That's a big jump. I mean,
So-
she really bet on herself, like you said, Chris.
If I wasn't pitching, I was in the outfield.
Wow.
So tell me so you were one of the top players on the team. Tell me about the results, and we're going to contrast this versus the results of the team you left. How did that turn out? Like, how did the year turn out?
We actually ended up in the same place.
Nah.
We went to state and we both lost. Like we lost at the exact amount of games. Like we went out of state. We actually shouldn't have lost. We played a good team. It was Appalachia. Yeah, Appalachia. The score was 5-4. So when we lost that first game, we got down there. We were like, okay, like we're gonna win the second game because like we weren't even supposed to be down there. Like our super regionals, we were actually the number 2 seed, but we ended up posting because the number 1 team, the Braves were playing. It was North Atlanta, so we couldn't go up there because there was so much traffic.
Right.
So like, so that's the host. So we were like, okay, like we're gonna host, we're gonna win this, so we can go to state.
Right.
But when we saw North Atlanta play, we were like, we're not being that team.
Right.
So we played them, and I think we kind of threw them off with the way that we played, because I guess they've seen like fast pace, but we play more like calm and like everything's like
Fundamentals, more conservative.
Yeah. So we threw them off with that, and you could tell like they were getting like kind of rocky. So we beat them. So that kind of already put us ahead because we beat them and Grovetown. So we were already like, we had all the buys. We had the last game. So we were watching them play because they played while we were in school, and we were watching them in Grovetown play. We just knew we were about to play North Atlanta again because we were like, they're gonna want us like. So we got out of school, we went down there, and they were playing Grovetown, but Grovetown was beating them. And Grovetown was, I mean, they were a strong team, but we run with them 8-0, so it was kind of like.
Oh wow.
So Grovetown ended up beating them, and we were like, oh, we're going to state because we just beat Grovetown. In order for them to go to state, they would have to beat us twice.
Right.
So we got ready for our next game, and we run with Grovetown again, like we did the first. And we were like, we're going to state. We shouldn't have been there though. But like when we got, and then we knew that when we got there, we were like, oh god, this is a big deal.
Hey, so you know this Division I school that you're looking at here, and you're going to visit. So have you ever had anybody doubt that you might make Division I?
Yeah, when I was, I think it was my 10th grade year. It was my 10th grade year because I was talking to my pitching coach. I went to lessons. I still go to lessons every week, but I went on Thursdays every night. And it was one lesson.
Why you look at me when you said every night?
I was going Thursdays, and I remember I was asking about my playing time and stuff, and I think she told me like it was because I wasn't able. I think it was I wasn't able to like spot up at the time or like hit my pitches, and I'm like, my pitching coach, like you're supposed to be helping me with that.
Right, exactly.
So we were talking about college because that time you're a sophomore, your coaches can contact you that September 1st of your junior year.
Of your junior year.
Yeah. So I was like I want to play D1 softball. I've always wanted to play D1 softball, and she was like, well, maybe we should just look at low-end JUCO or like D3.
Wait a minute. Time out.
Dang, I'd ask for a refund.
Wait, time out. Who, like,
I'd be
we
more
don't
mom
have
was-
to call any names, but who are you talking about? Your pitching?
And my mom was sitting over there, and she was like, low-end
She said-
JUCO.
Not even JUCO.
No, low end JUCO. Like, what is that?
That's at the house.
She's like, Mama said she doesn't make JUCO grades because like I make sure my grades are like on point all the time, so I can be able to go to any school I want to go to.
Exactly.
So she was like, I don't mean like low end JUCO. Like maybe just like start off at a lower school. Like you're my pitching coach. You're supposed to be like you can go D1. Like.
Right. Wow.
That's when I went to a different pitching coach, and now I'm hitting my spots. I can throw a pitch on command anywhere.
Okay. So who's your pitching coach now?
Kristen Graham Davenport. She K-Zone on Watson.
Excellent.
K-Zone on Watson.
Give her a shout out. That's good stuff.
So it sounds to me like you, and there's different strokes for different folks, but it sounds to me like you're a person that thrives off people believing. You believe in yourself, and you thrive off of people believing in you.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's something to know. You know, that's something good to know about. Like, you know, there's like I said, there's some people you have to put them in their spot or put them in their place, kind of. But you're one that thrives off of, believe in me. You know.
Exactly. You know that goes hand in hand with which school you decide to go to. That goes with who's you're coaching. Which pitching coach you decide to go to. So just because the coach is good, well they say they're good, that doesn't mean it may work for you. You may have this one particular coach may be the best around, but can they communicate? Can they get you to where you need to be? And so anytime you're out there, you want to make sure that you're with someone that can communicate with you and actually get you where you need to be.
Yeah.
Okay. Like myself.
The next generation.
The next generation sports and fitness. Good. So, you got your autograph there. You have a nice picture there. We're going to get you to go ahead and place it on the wall there.
Miss Kaylen Williams.
Take your time.
Try to hold on, see what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm trying to shout out my. Oh, yeah! That's what you want. I'm in it for trade. I just pulled on me a 8. 500 racks in my safe. 500 racks to the plug. What you know about showing love? What you know about pulling up and building trust?
All right, so this is Outside the Line podcast. We're gonna actually wrap it up here. We had a great time with Miss Kaylen today. She took us through her 9th grade year, 10th grade year, 11th grade year actually at HOCO. Now she played with veterans. She actually made it to state with the veteran high school. She's accomplished a lot. She's been looking at different schools to actually continue her education and possibly play softball. North Carolina A&T is one of the schools that she will visit this weekend. Chris, is there anything that you would like to end this with? Tell Kaylen.
Well, first I want to thank the viewers, and we appreciate y'all viewing the content. And if you would, please like, share, and subscribe. And again, we thank Ms. Williams here for showing up at the Outside the Line podcast. She's got big things in her future, and I want to personally, encourage you. Let's get this D1 pitching in the history books.
Exactly. So Kaylen, we'll actually fold this up for you, and while we're folding this up, we'll actually get you to start thinking about what you want to tell the youth out there, what you want to tell the people that are watching us. Is there anything exciting you want to tell them or to inspire them? Go ahead and do that now if you like.
Never let one coach stop you from doing something that you love. Because I almost did. I almost stopped playing softball after my sophomore year, almost junior year. But I found someone that actually believed in me, and I thought to play in college. Hopefully.
Wow, that's awesome. Hey, that's it for Outside the Line podcast.
All right.
Good job. Thank you for coming in.
It was good to meet you. Yeah.
And you know, so Kaylen, let everybody know how they can reach you, or they can actually see some of your maybe some of your content, some of the things you're doing, maybe IG or just Twitter. Some of the coaches can actually reach out to you. Give us your Twitter information.
My Twitter is _Kaylen Williams
Okay.
and Kaylen Kaylen.
Excellent. Anything, Chris?
No, that's it. Again, thank you for viewing our content, and if you like it, please like, share, and subscribe.
Good. Outside the Line podcast. Peace out.